My name is Lindsay Kukunda. I am a digital security trainer. I'm a passionate human rights advocate, and I run a feminist organization called Her Empire.
The Women at Web project is an initiative that began a few years ago and runs across a few countries, namely Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Uganda.
My name is Dorothy Mkasa. I'm the team lead at Unwanted Witness.
So for most queer women, the outlet we have to express ourselves as freely as we can is online.
And among these trainings, we always teach most women on how best to communicate securely.
Our main focus is the intersection between technology and human rights.
It was initiated to advocate for the digital rights of women online in these countries, but also promote digital security, digital literacy, and digital rights within the community and beyond.
Hello, I am Ruth Adong, and I'm very glad that you're joining us for this episode of Women at Web Advocacy Week. Juliet Namfuka from CIPESA, who's the project lead at Women at Web, especially from CIPESA. Tell us about the Women at Web project.
The Women at Web project is an initiative that began a few years ago and runs across a few countries, namely Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Uganda. It was initiated to advocate for the digital rights of women online in these countries, but also promote digital security, digital literacy, and digital rights within the community and beyond.
My name is Dorothy Mkasa. I'm the team lead at Unwanted Witness. At Unwanted Witness, our main focus is the intersection between technology and human rights.
My name is Lindsay Kukunda. I am a digital security trainer. I'm a passionate human rights advocate, and I run a feminist organization called Her Empire.
So we work on issues of privacy, safety and security of users, online users. We also currently running a project of Women at Web. We look at how governments and companies use our data. We look at surveillance, how the different technologies are being used to surveil on citizens, to surveil on different actors. So basically, Unwanted Witness is really looking at how technology can either be used to improve human rights, or it can be used to endanger the enjoyment of human rights.
Her Empire challenges society's entitlement to women's bodies and by extension their lives. So we hold a lot of conversations around that because there is a lack of awareness. I would say that society doesn't realize just how much by owning a woman's body, they own a woman's life, and women don't realize how much their bodies are owned by society.
Okay, so before this project started, what was the online community like?
Well, the online community, what our research has shown is as more people came online and as more women came online, of course, it was initially very exciting, a space that you want to be in, to connect. But after some time, as the years progressed, we started seeing some women falling off, or some women practicing self-censorship in the type of content they shared, the type of images they shared, and the extent to which they engaged online. So we started seeing quite a bit of cyber harassment taking place, stalking, trolling, the misuse of private information, and it's in response that initiatives such as Women at Web become important to help address these issues that we're seeing women face online, but also to encourage a community of advocates advancing the rights of women online, pushing against these problems that are increasingly affecting more women than men, more journalists than men, more actresses than their counterparts or actors. So yes, the Women at Web is an initiative in response to both evidence, research, and just the experiences of women in the online arena.
The right to move, the right to wear what you want, the right not to be judged, for example, based on what you are wearing, which is quite common in Uganda, the right not to be judged based on being a single mother, The right not to be judged based on not being the perfect woman. And the idea of the perfect woman in Uganda is someone who is humble, someone who is soft-spoken, someone, if you need bonus points for you, if it's not in your culture and you still kneel, yeah, you're a good, humble woman. We have a lot of narratives to challenge in Uganda about freedom beginning up here for girls and for women. From a young age, girls are put in a kind of prison, I would say, and we grow up as women and don't realize that we live in a cage. Don't behave like this, don't go out at this time, don't do this, don't do that. We do not have the freedom that boys do, and as a consequence, this entrapment continues into our adult lives. Women are afraid to get pregnant because that will mean a demotion at the workplace. There are cases where women have been cautioned nicely that maybe it's better off if they just don't work anymore because it's too much of a hassle. 2 months maternity leave, for example, you're being punished for having a reproductive system. Men don't get those penalties for being fathers. A man will get a raise for having a child, while a woman will become a burden when she has a child.
Over time, we see women rights being abused online, just they are abused offline. So Women at Web project comes in to build that digital literacy skills for women, to also empower women to use the tools to express themselves, to engage in economic opportunities that the online space produces, to access information as a right for women, So Women at Web bridges a gap of safety, security, and empowerment, overall empowerment of women to enjoy the online spaces.
Sandra Kuchiriza, I'm the team leader at Her Internet. We are an organization that advocates for the digital rights and internet freedoms of minority women. And we describe minority women as lesbians, bisexual women, queer women, and female sex workers. So we hold spaces to dialogue on different topics that might be of interest to us and our communities, or that are trending. So for example, we recently held a dialogue on what privacy means to us. So privacy online, offline, and the spaces between. And it was interesting to hear from the group how we are never aware of the amount of information we give out online. It could be a Facebook post without just a caption with no picture. It could be a picture that has your surroundings in the background. It could be maybe you're putting on a uniform, a work uniform or something that talks about where you work, or a tag.
Okay, I basically think we need to partner for solution, because there's a need for having capacity building. Like basically, DPI, what we do, we engaged in giving security trainings, this both physical and digital. And among these trainings, we always teach most women on how best to communicate securely.
So over the years, we have run a series of digital security clinics, workshops rather. These have been for practicing journalists, for human rights defenders, and bloggers, people with an interest of a very active presence online, people who are more vulnerable to being attacked for their online activity, for their opinions online, or for merely being a woman online. So we have run such activities and also grown an awareness that I am entitled to have an opinion. I shouldn't be pushed away from the internet for it. I am entitled to own the images in my phone. And if somebody misuses them, it is a crime, and there is a law that I can use to take the person to court.
In one of our engagements under the Women at Web project, I met with a lady who was told to close her Twitter account by her job. Like, if you want this job, these views will damage the brand of our company. So she, and what I told her was, what you're doing is you are sacrificing your authenticity and potentially the right job you should be in just to keep this one. Because if a job can tell you not to have your own individual online presence. You're not allowed to say views are my own. You're not allowed to compromise. It's close your Twitter account. That means that you're not going to have a voice. There will be no existence of you, what you stand for. Because a job is just a job. It can go away tomorrow. Do you stand for your job or do you stand for yourself? And it's okay to say you stand for your job, to stand for every single job that you have. But I want women to think about these options.
While many think that the way the offline violence manifests because somebody will come, physical, will come touch you, will come and perhaps blink at you or something, but then when it comes online, sometimes it's really different. Somebody can make a friendly request, right? And perhaps most times we do not know the intentions of those friendly requests. So it's important for the women to really understand the people that they accept as friends. Because at the end of the day, also what we've discovered is that these people that violate the women are people that are within their circles. The assumption before was that it's just online. Yeah. Once you're violated, get off the online. Just stay off for a while, and then you get back. I mean, this is also an abuse. Yeah. Yes, because internet is a human right, right? So a woman has to enjoy the online rights, right? So creating awareness that violence against women is real and it's an evil is one of those impacts that we are proud of as Unwanted Women, under the Women at Web project.
Once the women have the capacity to communicate securely, that means it's a plus. They'll now come out, communicate safely, knowing that their information won't be outside there. They'll also know that when they are communicating, that information won't be used against them. So it's kind of building their capacity to be able to, bypass some of this restrictive environment that we live in.
We're calling it's a Women at Web Regional Advocacy Campaign. So this is where anyone who follows us online, Women at Web, will see what has been going on in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Kenya, and in Rwanda. So they will get to see the results of our work. We shall share our research, we shall share our data, we shall share tips, we shall share tricks about how to stay safe online. We shall share examples of real-life scenarios that involve violence against women online and how to deal with such a scenario should it happen to you.
We are looking forward for the campaign. I think it also adds to the awareness that's really needed, not only in Uganda, but in the region, in the East African region. We need to create more and more awareness, people to understand. We need to have ambassadors. We need men to appreciate, and also women that are violators to appreciate how grave the violence, how grave the violence can affect a woman. So we're looking forward as Unwanted Witness. We'll have different, we'll be engaged onto the online campaigns, but we also have engagements on traditional media like TVs and radio to be able to still raise awareness that it's online violence against women is a problem that needs urgent attention.
There's a lot coming up with the Women at Web Week, and just tune in, follow the conversations. Remember that you must be online, you must be yourself, and you must be safe online, and those 3 points are what we're going to be promoting over the course of the week in Uganda and sharing that message with other countries. That's Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda. So tune in to make the most of it.